So last few months ago, maybe even last year, I made a video about dubbed and subbed animes. I said dub was better than sub, and I regret that. Is what a loser would say. But I'm sticking with my guns, mate. I'm doubling down. Some of you troglodytes were half and half of disagree and agree on that video. And I saw it through the likes and dislike ratio. I see you, mate. You better watch out because I'm gonna come at your house and break your goddamn kneecaps, mate. Because even through the months, even through the videos that I've admitted my mistakes to and regrets, my opinion of saying that dub is much superior than sub will freaking stay through, mate. And lock that in your goddamn head. But hey, let's freaking tango here for a second, mate. Dub is better than sub. Why? The main thing that most people ask themselves when they hear that statement, the main thing that they ask me is why. But let me ask you this first. Hey, why the frick not, man? Reason 2. Dub is great for freaking multitasking. So, I'm a loser. I've spent months, maybe even like a year, trying to learn Japanese, and I still have not even gotten through kinder level grade, man. And that's why I need to rely on English to watch anime without the subtitles. So when I do my work, aka jacking up to the Onan Genshin Impact, I can still understand the show I'm watching. Even if I'm not looking at the screen or even the anime itself, I can still understand it through sound. And my productivity through that just skyrockets. Which brings us to reason number 3. I can grind so much more anime, man. Back then, I had kind of a burnout on anime. I thought I've watched all the goddamn good animes out there. Oh, what a sad little boy I was, mate. I was barely scratching the goddamn surface. Even till now, I'd say. Because from my dump grind, I've watched so much goddamn absolute pieces, man. From Evangelion, Code Geass, even finished Love at War, and grinded so much goddamn animes at so much different genres. So much so that I've developed some kind of appreciation on some of them. And one of those genres is slice of life. I used to think that slice of life was just some boring old genre that no one even watches. A genre on anime that I thought was so boring that I never even decided to touch it. But then out of pure boredom and out of things to watch, I decided to watch it. And goddamn, they introduced me to some masterpieces, at least. Laid Back Camp and Girls Last Tour are some of the few animes that just made me feel things that I have not ever felt before out of an anime. They made me feel a comfort that I didn't even know. And without dub, I don't think my eyes would have been open to that comfort, to that feeling that I felt over watching those animes. And hey, I understand the argument that animes are just much better in sub. I get that. Sometimes the dub version can just sound like some old budget version, some fan-made version someone made. Because Japanese is just such a cool language. So much so that sometimes it feels like English can just never capture the amount of emotion that Japanese dub has. But that doesn't mean that all dubs are bad. Because through my dub grind, even though 80% of the dub that I've seen are just horrid in comparison to the sub, that 20% sometimes exceeds even the sub version of the anime. Like Food Wars, for example. I think that Food Wars has a solid dub. Burn me at the stake, man. Call me a cringe lover. But I'm just gonna say it how I think it, man. I grinded Food Wars till like season 3 just on dub. And when I tried to go back to sub, it felt so different. Erina's voice actor for the dub was goddamn amazing. But switching to sub, she just sounds like some normal anime girl. And another anime that I think has a really good dub, My Girlfriend is a Gal. When I tell you this anime is unhinged, I tell you it's freaking unhinged. See for yourself. These are clips just from one episode.
Is this pretty young thing? Does your dolly have a name? She's so cute.
And no, I did not dub that. That was raw footage from the anime itself. I went through that anime thinking it was just an ecchi. It had the uncensored fag and everything. I had nothing to grind, man. Don't blame me. But halfway through the show, it just became unhinged. And I freaking loved it. So much so that I might even make a video about it. Stay tuned for that. Now, is dub so much superior than sub? For me, I think it is. At least on some cases. I definitely prefer sub when I'm watching an anime more on the serious route, you know? When I think this anime is good, I'm gonna watch it on the sub version. Because even through my dub journey, when I've watched an anime and found that it's good, I will immediately go to the sub no matter what I'm doing. Cancel all that. Cancel all the productivity crap, and I'm just gonna grind some anime. Which is literally what I did through watching 86. I was at episode 1, like 10 minutes in. Goddamn, I was already sold. I immediately went on the language section and put that shit on sub, man.
Hello, this is Presente, and here to add more on my dub video. So anyhow, what's so amazing about dub? Besides the name dub, like we getting dubs out here, mate. Watching, or at least rewatching a show that you've watched in the past in just a different language, even beside English altogether, it's just such a different feeling, to the point that it feels fresh. It feels like a new entire show already. You know, sometimes it does make the show seem a bit worse in some cases, most cases, but as I've told you, there are some good dubs out there, and sometimes a show that you could be watching does have a really solid dub. Which, I mean, like, do you really need me to say it? Fine, it's a dub for all of us, mate. And I'm not just blindly speaking out here, because I've like rewatched a few shows that I really liked out there, particularly Mushoku Tensei, and you know, my first run through of it was pure sub. I still haven't opened my eyes to dub yet, but once I did and came around it, I tried to rewatch Mushoku Tensei, and surprisingly, I got till to the end of Mushoku Tensei. It was not the best experience, but certainly not the worst. It's Mushoku Tensei, it's amazing. They really did Iris dirty with this dub. Her voice actor, not the best cast, I say. She sounds annoying as heck in the dub, which we not getting dubs out here, mate, I tell you. But what I did feel was a dub for all of us is that the show felt fresh again. A show that I normally wouldn't rewatch because I don't rewatch shows. I actually watched again. It's all because of dub and boredom with not being able to do anything interesting at the time. And surprisingly, I took notice of some details that I missed on my first watch through. I got a deeper understanding of the world of Mushoku Tensei and like the details that I surprisingly missed. Maybe it's just because of me rewatching it, but I did feel that dub did have some relevancy, some help to that. Dub is basically kind of like Vegemite to you all my Aussie viewers out there. It's not something that you would like at first, and if you didn't like grow up with it, it's more of an acquired taste. Because honestly, when I first tried to watch dub, I vomited that crap, you know, like eating my first Vegemite. It was horrible. For God's sake, how do you Aussies like this crap, mate? Like, goddamn. But unlike Vegemite, I actually acquired taste for dub shows like anime, and it was great. It was a great experience. My eyes were opened, and my heart was blessed because of that opening in my heart. It opened a whole new sector on the anime world for me. It basically is what made me watch anime again. It's my saving grace. Also, dub anime kind of fixes the problem with sub animes. Reading the subtitles, because reading the subtitles is something that all of us have probably been accustomed to. Even I admit that I've been accustomed to it. But when you're reading the subtitles, you have to admit it, you're not really enveloping or like able to appreciate the art as much as when you're not reading the subtitles. That's what dub fixes. You're able to appreciate the show more, at least the art aspect of it, because your eyes are not like focused on the subtitles alone while catching mere glimpses of the actual show. You're watching the actual show and listening. Your eyes aren't focused somewhere else like the subtitles and crap, trying to understand and piece together words. You're just looking at the show and enjoying it for what it is, mate. Maybe even catch some details that you didn't notice before, because there's so much going on and you have to focus so much on the subtitles because characters are speaking so much and you have no time to look at the art and enjoy the scenery, all of which dub fixes. Maybe like the actions getting good and everyone's throwing the same guns everywhere. Where's it going? Where's it going? Crap like that. Gojo just popped his infinity domain. Deku is working at the McDonald's. A lot of stuff is happening and you just can't focus. You're focused on the subtitles. Reading it like a normie. But if you were on dub, you'd only get to see like fight scene and rely on your ears for understanding of what they're saying, not with both your eyes and ears. Because with dub, your eyes are focused to the action and your ears are focused to the action too, and the Rasengan and stuff. And moreover, it is more on just my case. It's easier for me to try shows and like see if they're good when I'm watching dub, because I don't need to put my full attention to the show when watching dub, in contrast to subbed animes, because I don't need to look at subtitles and could just be doing something else entirely. That's actually why I've tried so much shows this past few years actually, since I found dub. I'm able to try shows, see if they're good, and if they're good, maybe I'll switch to the sub version. Point is, it's great if you're trying to find or see if a show is good without feeling like you're wasting time. Maybe this is just more of my case, but this is just what I feel. Anyhow, my chat GPT is not putting any responses of why dub is good anymore, so that's about it. If you're still not convinced, then burn in hell, please. I'm kidding. Please sub.
But yeah, that's about my opinion on sub and dub. Do I think that dub is superior? Yeah, still, not gonna change my mind, mate. But as I've said, only in some cases. I think dub is a refined taste. Something that you'll find cringe at first, then somehow just grow into it, as was the case for me. So what did we get out of this video? I think more people should just try dub, because I was a dub hater like you, mate, back then, and look at me now. I'm over here preaching about dub being better than sub. Words that would have made me puke out of disgust back then. But now here I am actively looking for anime with dubs, because with English, we only get dubs over here, mate. Anyhow, that's about it. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video or made it this far, consider subscribing, maybe even liking the video. Anyhow, sayonara. Bye bye.